When someone is unusually rude, negative towards you in a way that is very disheartening, demotivating, you make it personal. You think maybe I did something, maybe something is wrong in me. Yeah, I like one thing, the other person hates me for it. The other person criticizes me for it. I think something is wrong with me. I try to change it. I try to be a better person. I try to be a different person. Then I meet someone else and they have a problem with some other thing. I try to change that as well. I try to be acceptable. I try to be liked. When someone is rude, mad, angry, it's very rarely something that you have done, and 99.9% something that is going on in their own head. We need to understand that everything, everything that someone comes out of a person's mouth is always selfish. What you do, what you say, what you perceive, anything, it's all selfish. Now, this word selfish has gotten such bad connotations to it. If someone is selfish, they are looked at as a very bad person. When you know the truth of human existence, that everything that anyone does is always selfish, then you realize that's the truth. It's like water is wet. Yeah, what about it? Everyone is selfish. That's the universal truth. No, Surbhi, you're wrong. I've seen people who do things for other people. I've seen people who selflessly give. They keep on giving. What do you think that giving means to them? Selfless act doesn't exist, because even in the times when you're selfless, when you think you're selfless, when you're doing something for just the other person, there is some thought process. There is something in your head that you're trying to satisfy. I wanted this cupcake. Someone else wanted it too. But I want to be a good person. I want to be a good person. I want to share. But is that a bad thing? When I say this, is that a bad thing? It's not. It's not a bad thing to do things selfishly. Because to be honest, someone who's actually selfless, position on par with Buddha himself, who has let go of the ego mind, the chit. Only a person like that can be living selflessly, because there is no self. But right now, us in this realm who have not gotten there, it is impossible to do that. So, all this ego that people have when they do good, we should realize that it's not that you have done something for the other person, you have done something for yourself. There should be a humbleness, a sense of realization, sense of groundness in that. That even though you think you're being a good daughter to your mother because of your mother, because of your selfless nature, somewhere in your heart you want to just be a good daughter. You just want to be valued like that. It is something in your own heart. So if she values it or not values it makes no sense, makes no difference, because I know I'm doing it for myself. Once you know that, your life becomes so much easy. You love a person, you want them really bad, you do things for them, but they don't reciprocate your love, they don't come to you. You grow resentful because of it, because you don't realize it was never you doing things for them because of them. It was always because you wanted to do it. Everyone is doing something for themselves. So to hate someone for being selfish, or to hate yourself for thinking something very selfish or doing something very selfish, is very ironical. Even when you're guilty about something that you've done and you feel like that guilt is doing you a service because you're thinking from the other person's perspective, that guilt is also selfish. You want to paint yourself in a bad light. What then now? Even after this realization, what changed, Surbi? Why are we talking about this to begin with? Detachment from the result. Because you know what you did was because you did it, because you wanted to do it, there will be detachment from the way the other person has reacted towards the situation. If you like something, if you don't like something, if you hate something, if they hate something, how it will affect you or how it will affect the other person. There should be detachment in that. It should not be a train event that will happen, that she has said something to me that was very disrespectful. In turn, I have said something to her that was very disrespectful. But what we don't realize in that moment is what is happening is not verbal confrontation just because of the sake of it. What is happening is in our own head, some other things have started happening. She said something about my dress, or he said something about my dress. All of a sudden, my mind is not at just this dress, because this dress in itself is insignificant. What is this dress to me? Nothing. There's nothing. But what if this dress was given to me by my mother? It is very close to my heart. Or what if my fashion sense is something I've been very criticized for? And now this criticism is not just this criticism, it's a lot more than that, because in my head, so many things have started coming in. We don't look at conversations or thought processes standalone. There's always connections that are happening. So you need to be aware of that connections so that you can live peacefully. 'Cause that is the goal, am I right? To do your work, to fulfill your duties and responsibilities without it creating tension, stress in your head. And that is how we do it. What then, Surbhi? This means there is no need for confrontation. There is no need for confrontation. I feel like confrontation is the biggest energy killer for no reason. Confrontation, argument, out of anger. When something like that is happening, leave the situation. Leave the situation. It will serve you no good. You will think you'll change the other person's perspective. They will think they'll change your perspective, but you know how difficult it is to change your own perspective. How can you sit and think that in this 1 minute of our heated argument, I will make sure I change their opinion? Conversations and arguments should happen, flow effortlessly, not shouting at each other, proving your point until, your ears start bleeding. That's not how it's supposed to be. What then? You present your argument very carefully. I don't like your dress. Well, I like it. Your choice is bad. Okay. But the other person is not shutting up, keep on coming with other things to criticize me, to make my day bad, and I know I can't take it anymore, I'll just leave. I'll just leave. That's how you create boundaries. You don't fight with other people for your boundaries. This is my boundary. How dare you cross it? How dare you? This is my boundary. They knew it. They crossed it. Bye. Will I not talk to them ever again? No, that's not the thing. That's not the case. But I will leave the situation. I will leave the conversation. I will tap out. I don't need that tension. We don't need that tension. Namaste.